Well, hello everyone. It's Jeff Woytovich, and this is another episode of Cap Chat. And I'm doing it in the Nugo Cap van. I'm in the middle of the desert, so if for some reason cutting out, if the sound doesn't sound right, just bear with us. If for some reason we can't go forward, we'll just reschedule. So if you're looking on this side, you see who our special guest is. I was going to go into this big dissertation about who he is and and where he's from, what he's doing, and how he wants to get involved with CAP. But I decided that everybody is you're on Facebook right now. So if you just scroll down after you listen to this, you'll see his bio, you'll see everything about him. But more importantly, you're going to get to hear him talk a little bit about what he's doing and who he is. But in the meantime, I just want to show this.
There's a new team of paranormal investigators here to answer two questions about ghost hunting. Are ghosts for real? And
why is everybody white?
what we're playing, man?
Oh my God.
Well, if you are here, please reveal yourself. I'm Dalen, the leader of the group. We're
I did
three
say
best
that
friends who all had
I'm in the middle
paranormal
of the
experiences as
desert,
kids.
so
Now that we're grown, we're not afraid to look for answers. Bro,
I can see why they say black folks don't do this stuff. It's hot, man.
Yo, this is not no Magic Mike, dog.
I'm Juwan, and I'm a ghost brother.
Are you okay with us working together as equals?
We know what happens in every horror movie when the brother's by himself.
My name is Marcus, and I'm a ghost brother. Time to pop the trunk on these ghosts. You all right?
it's just wires and cobwebs, homie. You are not welcomed on this property. Our
well,
mission is
instead
to
of
get
bearing
the most
with me,
haunted locations in
let me
America to
introduce
prove
to
that
you
ghosts are for real.
Dalen Spratt.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Jeff? How you feeling?
Oh, well, I could be better. I could be someplace where I had good internet and this wouldn't be a problem. And
Yeah, I was about to say, man, it seems like you're out there filming an episode of Ghost Brothers, not me, man.
you know what? I do have to admit that when you're by yourself in the desert, you know, there's nobody around, but you hear people talking and you know they're not out back. They're probably a mile or two away, but it freaks you out because it's like they sound like they're closer than they are.
You know what?
So
What's funny? Like, so I've been around you in person, and I've been around your van in person. So I love how you have the kids all over the van, but I could only imagine
oh yeah.
waking up in the middle of the night, in the middle of the desert, and forgetting where you are, and seeing the kids looking through the window.
Yeah, you know what? The one crazy thing is when I'm driving, my rear mirror, I can't see in the back, but you can see the kids in the back window. So when I'm driving, I look up and they're staring at me. So it took me a little while to get used to, but now I'm used to them.
That's funny. That's funny.
So let me ask you, I guess the most simple. I know you're involved in a lot of things and you're proud of the stuff that you do, but the thing that I know about you before we actually met was Ghost Brothers. It's kind of amazing how you reached out and I started watching Ghost Brothers like a year before, and I remember when you reached out, I didn't really know who you were,
Right.
and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh. So tell me a little bit about Ghost Brothers. How did this all start?
So Ghost Brothers is actually like my baby. Like, that's like my child. Like, so probably about 2000 and maybe 11, 2012. I was working behind the scenes in television doing wardrobe, and I was just seeing how they made television shows. And then I just had this idea for a show. I was up late one night and I was watching one of those ghost hunting shows that was on television. And I just realized that I didn't see any representation of myself anywhere on these shows. So there were no young minorities, like from that viewpoint or perspective. It was just one voice that had all these paranormal shows. And I grew up in the church. Man, I'm from the South. I'm from Dallas, Texas. My mom was a pastor. I'm talking about Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues, like pass the offering plate around, like really, really growing up in church. So we were always taught that the only ghost that you acknowledge is the Holy Ghost.
Right.
And nothing different, nothing else. So as an adult, I was curious about that. I was like, okay, why are no black people on television hunting ghosts? And why was I grown up being told not to acknowledge anything like that? And so, I was fortunate enough to have some friends that were down. You know, they say, you have friends like if they jumped over that cliff, would you jump over that cliff? Like,
Right.
those are the type of friends I have. We jumped over this paranormal cliff together. And
Now, did they have any interest in this before this?
no, none of us did, Jeff. And that was the problem. None of us had any like real interest in it. But when I presented the idea, it sparked a level of curiosity, like, why is that? And we were able to just, try to put together a trailer for a show, and we did, and then nothing happened. Like no one wanted to hear about it. No one cared. We took a couple of meetings. People was just like, no one would be interested. Mind you, this is 2011, 12. They were saying no one would be interested in watching black people ghost hunt because black people don't ghost hunt. And
that's why people watch you.
Exactly. But we were like, whatever. But we just kept getting that response. It wasn't until I moved to LA, maybe about 5 or 6 years after all of this was going on, that I was driving for Uber. I was literally in LA pursuing my dreams, man, trying to make things happen, driving for Uber. And I got a random email, and it was from a television network saying that they saw the trailer that I shot 5 years prior, and they were interested in doing something very similar. So I tell people all the time, man, it's not always in your time, but in God's time that things happen, man.
No, I mean, I totally get it. So you do this trailer, 5 years later, someone finds it, they're interested. Yeah. What happens then?
So we okay, this is what's very funny. People don't know this. I'm gonna give the Cap Chat a little inside scoop, man. I haven't really told many people this part of the story. So when the network met all of us, they wanted us to shoot what's called a sizzle reel. So essentially that's a trailer just to prove what this show would look like. They wanted us to include one white person. This is in 2016. They wanted us to include one white person just to make it a little bit more palatable to the public. So we originally had 4 people in Ghost Brothers. It was myself, Jawan, Marcus, and a white guy named Charlie. Charlie was dope. This is my friend. Charlie's my friend. Charlie was young, but here's the thing, Jeff. It worked. Charlie was young. He was white. He grew up different from all of us. He was an atheist. He didn't believe the things that we believed. He just offered a totally different perspective than we did. And it just meshed very, very well. But once we shot the sizzle, shot the trailer, they finally were like, you know what? We don't need a white guy in this show.
Right.
These 3 black guys can do it. And then they end up doing it with us. And we've been fortunate enough for the world to see our journey through paranormal. Like, you really have 3 real life friends. Like, we're not like regular TV where they get this guy from over here and that girl from over there, and they just make a cast and make a television show. No, we was sleeping on each other's couches 10 years ago. like we've been best friends forever. Like, think about you and your best friends the people that you grew up with, the people that you was broke with, the people that you ate in their mama's kitchen with, literally getting the opportunity of a lifetime to travel the world and hunt ghosts. Like it was the dopest blessing that God could have bestowed upon us when he did.
And you know what, the thing that you can really tell when you're watching the episodes is that you can tell that you guys are friends.
Yeah.
And especially Marcus. Marcus must be like, he must be a riot to hang out with, because the
Right.
humor that you guys infuse in it, and the likability that you guys all possess because you guys are all together, and the fact that you're actually going into some environments that are pretty darn scary.
Exactly.
It's a perfect mix of everything.
Right.
And that's awesome that they do that way.
Right.
So you started and you were on another channel, and this year you're now on the Travel Channel.
Yeah, we've been through the Discovery Communications ringer, man. But it's dope. It's dope because it was our first rodeo. We started off at Destination America. That's where all the paranormal shows were. And then they moved everybody to Travel Channel for a season. And then they moved everybody, to TLC for a season. And then they moved everybody to Travel Channel. So all of those networks are owned by Discovery Communications. So they were just trying to figure out which network best fit for paranormal. And we all ended up on Travel Channel. So now we're on Travel Channel. Yeah.
Well, you're with a bunch of good company, because there's a lot of good shows. I mean,
Great
when I watch
shows.
TV,
Great.
I watch the news and the Travel Channel because I love all that
Yeah.
stuff. All the other
Yeah,
shows that
yeah.
are on there, it's almost like the Travel Channel should really change its name, like traveling into another dimension channel.
Exactly.
So tell me,
I'm gonna pitch that.
what else you're involved in?
So Jawan and I, who's actually a castmate on the show, the tall gentleman,
So
we have a clothing line. You said what now? Oh, I don't know if it cut out or not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Can you hear me now? Is everything good?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So Jawan and I, the tall guy
Well, I
on the
can
show,
hear you, and then I can't hear you.
okay. All right.
All right, let's try it again.
There. All right, there we go. We're good. There we go. So
We're good.
Perfect. So Jawan on the show, we have a clothing line called Loren Spratt, and that preceded Ghost Brothers. So we've been making tailored men's suits for TV and film productions, weddings, and personal clientele since 2010. So we're 10 years. We're a decade in, man. Decade into making tailored suits, and that's super dope. And I work with United Negro College Fund. So I'm one of their host speakers. So I fly across the country speaking to high school seniors about going to historically black colleges and universities. And we hand out over $20 million worth of scholarships every year. And yeah, man, I just try to stay involved. I try to stay involved as much as I can, doing as much as I can. And Forex trading, that's like a passion of mine. That's the little financial niche that I'm in, and that's the next step for me too, is to spread financial literacy amongst people, man.
So why don't you tell everybody why you reached out to me?
Man, so it's interesting, man. So I think it's actually fate. Someone once called it kismet. So growing up, I had alopecia, man, probably from the age of first grade. So what's that? 6 or 7, all the way through 10th, 11th grade of high school. And I just remember just what that was like, man. Like I had the severity of alopecia that I had. Like I know it gets way, way more severe than I had, but mine was I would have large bald spots all over my head. And as soon as one would grow back, another one would fall out over here. As soon as this one grows back, one will fall out here. As soon as this grows back, one will fall out. Like it was just a constant pattern, literally for all of those years. And I remember going through the gamut of just everything. And I salute my mother because she didn't know, so she literally tried everything, and I applaud her for that because she didn't know. So I mean, we did everything from creams to oils to shots to we prayed, which I feel like was the big thing. But I remember being young and like going to a doctor in Dallas, Dr. Blackburn, and he would have to give me like the little steroid injection shots all over my head. And I remember just screaming and crying, screaming and crying. And I remember it never failed every time. And I would walk out the doctor's office and my mom would walk out to pay, and we would have to walk back into the lobby. And I would always walk out like I wasn't the one in there crying. Like that wasn't me in there screaming. Like I know everybody in the office.
Yeah. I don't know who that was, but it wasn't me.
Hey man, whatever they did to that guy in there, man, I don't suggest that to anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But I just remember how.
And your mom was.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, and your mom obviously was it is a big influence with you. You wrote a book.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about that book.
Yeah, so my mother and I, that's my best friend, and like I said, I applaud her for riding through the whole journey with me and never making me feel any type of way, and like I said, and exhausting all of her possibilities. But we wrote a book, and it's called A Mother's Guide to Manhood, and I'm proud of her because she came up with that title. Like I'm the creative one in the family. Like I pride myself on creativity. I'm not tall, I'm not athletic, I'm not overly handsome, I'm not a model, but I'm very creative. And my mom came up with that title, A Mother's Guide to Manhood. And it's essentially a book for single women raising sons. So and it just tells our life story about my mom and how how she raised me to be the man that I am. And it mixed biblical principles and Bible scriptures, because like I said, she's a pastor of a church. So she incorporates, like I said, the Bible and prayer into this book and our story. And it just shows, it's dope. It touched me writing it because we wrote our parts separately. And I was able to read things about her that I didn't know in my life, that happened in my life. So we will be talking about the same story or the same instance in life. And she will be telling her perspective, and she was able to read my perspective of that time. And we both never knew like what each other was thinking or going through. So
if anybody's watching, he's still there.
Yeah. You said what now?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it was a great way for us to just kind of.
No, I was just you froze there for a minute. So I was just letting everyone know we're still good.
Yeah. But yeah, A Mother's Guide to Manhood.
So so what's going on in your personal life right now?
Everything's going well, man. Everything's going well. I got some things lined up for the end of the year, doing some traveling. So yeah, hopefully I have some news sooner than later. But everything's good, man. Life is good. Like I said, we got done filming the show.
Good.
Back home now, relaxing. Just got two new puppies, 2 French bulldogs. And so I'm just home now, relaxing and spending time with the new addition.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you guys just got finished filming. You just got home, right?
Literally flew in last night. Yeah, we just finished yesterday. We wrapped up Ghost Brothers proper. So we have 2 shows coming out. We have the investigative show that we literally just stopped filming last night. And we have a talk show coming out at the top of the year as well with us and Jack Osborne.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, we're excited.
So when does the When does the season premiere then?
So that's what we're excited to hear about. We're all waiting. We're on pins and needles waiting. Like I said, we just stopped filming yesterday, so we got to go through the rigmarole of editing and getting everything ready for TV. But probably the talk show is going to air first. So probably in the top few months of the top of the year. So we're going to let everybody know as soon as we know, because, man, we're excited to see it as well.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm also excited that you're gonna start doing some things with Cap. You're gonna hopefully come to some of the camps that we have, God willing, that COVID-19 is not going to hinder anything moving forward, but we want to get you involved in some of the camps. We want to get you involved in our Cap Kid group in Atlanta. And who knows? I mean,
Yes.
I appreciate wanting to do something with the kids. And I know that you had your experience with alopecia, but I really do appreciate the fact that you want to give back. And I think the kids are going to learn a lot from you, not just because you're a personable and good guy, but you really decided that, you know what, no matter what happens, this is what I'm going to do. And you go and you do it, and
Yeah.
you don't give up. And,
Mhm.
you know, geez, I mean, who would have thought that you would have done a video and 5 years later,
Right.
boom,
Right.
things start moving for you. So you have the clothing line, you're doing all that. And by the way, can you dress a short little fat guy like me? I mean,
Oh,
because
man,
that's
listen, man.
sharp looking stuff that you guys are selling.
We make suits in all shapes and sizes. We got you covered, Jeff. Got you
Yeah.
covered. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My style's pretty much, short flip flops and a t-shirt. So,
That's the best way to be comfortable.
so
Comfortable.
yeah. So, I mean, I think yeah, well, I'm definitely comfortable. So I think it's going to be great that the kids are going to get to see a different element, because we have other people that are on TV, but the thing is, everyone's story is different. Everyone comes from a different place, and
Right.
you might think that everyone's the same. You have alopecia, so you lose your hair, you get embarrassed, you get made fun of, you become brave, and then you just grow up, and then you forget about it. But you don't really
Right.
forget about it, and,
No, you
and
don't.
everyone's journey is different.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that it's important for the kids to see that.
No, I agree wholeheartedly, Jeff, man.
So
Like, I appreciate you guys, even allowing me the opportunity to be a part. When I reached out on Instagram, like, I had no expectations of anything. All I knew was that I had always said in my past, like, whenever I got to the opportunity, I wanted to either start an organization for kids with alopecia or be a part of one. And literally just doing the little Google search and searching on Instagram and coming across your page, like, I just felt your energy and your vibe, man. I just appreciate the things that you were doing, because growing up, I didn't have access to any of that. I didn't see any of that. I didn't know anybody else with alopecia. Like, to me, that was something that only I was going through. So now to be an adult, and I already spend my time working with other organizations, but this is something that, like, means something specifically to me. And yeah, man. So whatever I can do, any of the camps, the alopecia paloozas, man, the any,
yeah,
especially the Atlanta events, I'm excited to get involved in bringing out the other Ghost Brothers, the other guys, and yeah, just doing as much as we can.
yeah. I mean, and that would be great. And I posted this on Facebook, but I just want everybody to know none of these dates are confirmed that we're having it, but we have confirmed dates. So let me just go through that real quick, and Dalen, just go ahead and think about the ones that you want to go to.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for
in
sure.
February in Florida, that camp isn't yeah, that camp isn't open yet, so we don't know about the one in February. But I do have alternative camps that I'm going to be looking at. We have Texas in March. That's March 19th to the 21st. In April, we're not going to have a camp this year, and I'll explain why. In May, we're in Wisconsin, May 7th to May 9th. In June, we're in Maine, June 11th to June 13th. In July, we have a camp. This is Cali Palooza. We used to have it in April, but we're going to have it in July this year. And that's going to be July 9th to July 12th. And we're adding an extra day. So it's a 4-day event. In August, North Carolina, August 6th to the 9th. That also is 4 days because we go to the beach one day. In
cool.
September, we used to have it in Ohio. This year, we're going to have it in Indiana. And that's going to be September 17th to the 19th. October, Colorado. That's October 1st to October 3rd. And we still don't have a date in Washington State. And then December and January, everyone can just hang out and do something. So we're ready. We're ready to get you involved. We're ready to start doing these camps, start making a difference. And listen, I miss the magic that these camps give, not just to the kids and to the families, but to me and my family. There's nothing better than seeing the transformation of kids. And
Right.
I'm privileged to be able to do that. And I just want to welcome you into the CAP family. And I appreciate
Thank you.
the efforts that you're going to be making. And I think this is going to be good. I think we have a message here. Let me see what this is. Dalen, welcome to the CAP family. Gladys says, woohoo, can't wait for July. So,
oh man, appreciate that, Bob. I'm glad it's I'm
this
excited.
Is,
like I said,
this.
No, I was just saying that. The dates that you were naming, man, I was just looking. I was like, it's a couple of those. That's like for sure, especially like the Carolina. That's right there. The Florida, like all of those. Texas is home. Like, I'm excited to be a part of it.
Right. Well, it's going to be good. I mean, I don't know how and when, but it's going to be good. The only other thing that I want to talk about is the I think I say this all the time, and hopefully we're going to get you involved with the group down in Atlanta, but all the other CAP kid groups, no matter where you're at in the country, we have 50 CAP kid groups, and some of the groups are active where they actually do things. And I know it's hard in this age of COVID to actually do it. And especially now, there's a lot more cases popping up, and everyone that's listening, you don't have to be the leader of a group to make a decision to do something. You just have to be somebody that wants to hang out with other families. So all you have to do is get on one of the Facebook pages and say, hey, and get together. Even if it's just 2 families. The best thing for the kids is to be involved and to know that having alopecia is definitely different. But when you're with other kids with alopecia, you actually feel more normal. And then you realize that difference is not that big of a deal. So everyone watching, get involved with groups, even if you just have to post some pictures and say hello and talk to people online.
Uh-oh. I don't know if we lost Jeff, but if we did, I am here and I will sing you a tune. No, I'm just playing, y'all. But guys, I am excited to be a part of the CAP family. Like, this is super, super, super big for me. I want to get real active. So whoever's in Atlanta, I hope you guys are ready. We can do meetups, all of that good stuff. All of that good stuff. I wonder who else I can get involved too. Reach out to some people. But yeah. Yeah.
You stay involved. The the most important thing is to make sure that everyone
I'm not sure if it's my computer or.
I'm back. There's Dalen.
Okay.
One of these problems when you guys are filming?
Oh, honestly, yes. Way more. You'll be surprised, man. So I applaud you for getting through it speedily, like unlike production does.
Thank you all for coming and listening. Dalen, thank you so much
Thank you.
for wanting to be part of CAP and being a mentor to those kids. Thank you for what you do, your other endeavor, because it's all about making people feel good and keep on making people look good with your clothing line.
For sure.
Great thing. And I just really thank you for wanting to be part of us. And I'm excited as anything. I can't wait to get you involved. I can't wait to introduce you to the kids.
I'm excited, man. Appreciate it, Jeff. Thank y'all, man. And I'm excited to meet everybody.
Well, okay. I kind of heard what you were trying to say, but I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let you say goodbye.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in and allowing me to meet you all. So I'm excited to meet everybody in person, and I'm excited to just be very, very active in the CAP family. And yeah, it's truly an honor. I'm excited to meet all the families.
Perfect.
And,
well, this is going to be posted.
No, that was it.
Yeah, this is going to be posted on Facebook, and it's going to be and it's going to be on our YouTube page too.
Good, solid.
All right. I guess you're not going to hire me to work on your crew because I guess I'm not doing this technically great. So.
Definitely not in the tech department.
Can't wait to meet you. I mean, can't wait to get you to meet the kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, driver.
Man.
All right. Thank you very much, Dalen. And you take care, everyone else. Thank you for watching. And you know what? We're going to do one of these again probably in the next week or two. So stand by. Keep on visiting. Be good. Take care. God bless. See you later.